Shalom Aleichem, and welcome to session number 6 of Intimate with the Infinite. We will address the topic of growth through vulnerability as exemplified by the lobster. We should also be aware that everything Hashem created has a lesson and a directive, and everyone knows that if the Torah wasn't written, we would learn modesty from a cat. And the reason is that the cats, when they have to move their bowels, they make a hole and then they cover it up and they close their eyes. Anyway, the lobster example basically is the lobster has many lives. Some people say up to 7, and the reason for that is when the lobster is first formed, it has a shell. As the lobster grows, it's put into an awkward position where the shell is now too small for its body. So it has a choice. It could stay in an uptight shell, or it could shed the shell and wait for another one to form. But the problem is vulnerability, because when the lobster comes out of the shell, waiting for a new shell to form, it has no defensive system, no teeth, no claws, nothing to fend off possible challenges. So it does that, and in the time of the forming of the shell, you can imagine it goes through a lot of challenging emotional experiences, some very difficult situations and fears. So it gets, in the metaphor, it gets to know itself a lot more rather than being uptight and comfortable in a protective system. This happens many times over. And any time the lobster wants to grow, it has to let go of its comfort zone, go out of its protective environment, and be exposed to experiences that will challenge it. The end result, obviously, in the metaphor aspect for human beings, is that growth takes place when you stop being wrapped up in yourself. You open yourself up, and then you get to know yourself as you interact with the opportune experiences that you encounter. So don't be afraid to shed your shell and grow. And one of the reasons that these kind of fish, like lobsters and clams or oysters, are not kosher, they're called shellfish. And we have to remember that's really selfish. So I want to wish you a happy growth and a new awareness of overcoming your vulnerability. Thank you.